This is Andre Taylor, and on this channel we talk about all things premier. This video is about luxury and creating an independent luxury brand. Next to becoming a rock star or a movie star, I think more people want to create independent luxury brands than any other endeavor. Entrepreneurship has been hot for a long time, but I think today everyone has an idea for a luxury brand. It's the go-to plan for athletes, for celebrities, and I can tell you from 25 plus years of being involved in helping luxury brands, independent luxury brands and others, that it's an aspiration that is not going to die down, it's going to continue. Now what's fascinating today is there are more luxury brands and independent luxury brands than ever before. When I first began in this process, there were very few brands that were seen legitimately out of the 100, 200 or so brands that we all know and love. So today, there are brands all around the globe aimed at many different kinds of clients who can lay claim to the idea of being a luxury brand. Now, when I say luxury brand, I'm talking about a broad range of products, services, and experiences. Many entrepreneurs come to me in areas like jewelry, wellness, hospitality, leather goods, culinary, publishing, apparel, and many other categories. So why do they come to me? Well, one reason is I've been talking about this for a long time. In fact, when I first began in this sector, and I began using the phrase luxury entrepreneurship, a lot of people said, those two words don't go together. But we now understand that luxury is an entrepreneurial endeavor. Boy, is it today. The good news is that the market will be receptive to you as an entrepreneur, more so than ever before. That does not mean it's easier. It just means that there are many more clients who are receptive. The bad news is many entrepreneurs have no idea how to approach becoming a luxury brand. The first impulse is to look at large luxury brands and do what they do, which is the wrong impulse. The other impulse is to focus on academic approaches. Many of those approaches don't work day to day. They don't work in certain countries. They don't work in certain product lines. They don't work with certain clientele. So you have to become a lot more savvy about how to build a luxury brand. And what you see in a large luxury brand is not the way they began. So let's talk about it. In this video, I want to give you 5 things to consider if you're building an independent luxury brand that I believe will serve you well. Number 1, thinking like an independent luxury brand is different than thinking like a well-financed independent luxury brand. Big difference. Now, you may desire to take the world by storm, but what I want you to first understand is that you've got to think differently than you might inside of a large luxury brand. Like many businesses, you have to think client first. And when I say client first, I mean client first. When you're inside of a brand, there are so many things you do that are not necessarily aimed at serving the client. You're thinking about the numbers, you're thinking about your quota, you're thinking about the pressure, you're thinking about all of these things except building those client relationships in a superior fashion. There are things you might take for granted when you work inside of a large brand that you cannot take for granted when you are building your own brand. For example, you might have a phone that's filled with names and people who have purchased from you or purchased from the brand. You work inside a luxury brand, you're a little casual about that. Okay, I'll get to that. I'll get to following up with these people. I'll get to doing something creative with them. Not so when you're working for yourself. Every one of those names counts, and you want to think about how can I stay engaged with not just a few, all of them, all the time. So you're building clients, you're building names, you're building relationships, you're building your understanding of who the clients are. You're creating profiles, and in those profiles, you're detailing what you know about that client, and you're doing everything you can to know more and more about that client. Where does the client work? What kind of business does the client run? Where did they go to school? Are they married? Where do they vacation? What charities do they support? How engaged are they in their industry? Are they a thought leader? Do they buy all the time? Do they buy at the right level, or do they buy more modestly? These are things that, yes, you think about when you work for a luxury brand, but when you are independent, you better really understand this. Now, let me just say this. You're not trying to mirror another brand. You're trying to create your own unique footprint and relationship. This is like you're building everything around this. You're building your culture. You're building your dialogue. You're building your communication style. You're building all of this from scratch. So remember, you're creating a business that's refined, that's distinctive, that's exceptional, and it's up to you how you define that. So you're not trying to just do things like other people. You're not trying to just look like other brands. You are trying to create a unique relationship with a unique set of clients who see you uniquely. A little redundant? Yes, be unique. Now, the next thing I want you to understand is that I think of independent brands as impact businesses. In other words, you're not just trying to blend into the atmosphere. You're trying to have an impact on the atmosphere. And when you do that, that's when you're really going to be able to cut through. So you're thinking about how creatively you offer it. You're thinking about the language you're going to use. In fact, in some markets, you're actually teaching the audience how to buy your product. And in some cases, you're expanding the market for your product. There's a fair amount of education that might be involved in this process. Here's how you buy this kind of outfit. Here's how you buy a custom suit. Here's how you wear this item. Here's what you need to know if you want to be a collector. You know, one of the things that a lot of independent brands don't realize is the impact they can have. So I want you to think of yourself as a leader, not just sitting there waiting for someone to call you or someone to drop in. It's how do I impact the industry? What do I put forth in a way that will show people not only that this is a great brand, that I understand what I'm doing and I understand the value and the impact that I want to have on you and your life. Okay, number 3 is I want you to become an insider and not a copy of everyone else. And this relates to what I was saying earlier about an impact brand. Being an insider means not only an insider in terms of your product, your service, your experience. Being an insider means being an insider in the mind of the person that you're selling to and serving. So many people, when they work inside of luxury, they have a servant mentality. Now, you want to be of service, but you do not necessarily want to be a servant. You want to be a person that can lead and guide and can say to someone, something just came in, perfect for you. I want you to see it. When can you get here? In other words, people who are very successful like dealing with people who are definitive, people who know what they're doing, people who are serious about what they're doing. I think that too often those in luxury are afraid of the client. They're afraid of suggesting things. They're afraid of being too pushy. They're afraid of stepping out of bounds or appearing that they don't belong or any of those things. You can be assertive if it's clear that you are an expert at what you do. You have your client's best interests in mind, and you are serious about creating a great reward and great experience for them. I know personally, I don't want to deal with someone who is not confident in who they are and what they do. So become an insider. Now, that also means be able to have a conversation with your client beyond your product. This isn't just about, hey, are you going to buy, are you going to buy, are you going to buy? It's about, okay, looking at what the client is doing in their profession, looking at their website, looking whether they've written anything, are they speaking anywhere, are they traveling anywhere, what are the things that are priorities to them, what's happening in their family, what's going on in their industry, what's going on in their city. You know, these are things that you want to be able to talk with a client about. Hey, I see that your company is really involved in some new investments lately. How's that going? I saw that news report about what's taking place in your industry. Fascinating. Hey, this person is in town. I see they're lecturing downtown. Are you going to go see them? In other words, what is your client thinking about? And become an insider in that kind of dialogue so that you can have substantive conversations with them that put you at a different level when it comes to engaging with them and them buying from you. If you can speak to them almost like a peer, you will have a much better brand and selling and marketing relationship with them. Okay, number 4 is do the really pretty stuff last. A lot of times when someone starts a brand, that's all they're thinking about. I gotta make it pretty, I gotta make it pretty, okay, I gotta have the best this or that there. Make your product, your service, your experience, your environment the best you can. Make it extraordinary. But remember, we're focused on getting a client. So make sure that as you're proceeding, you're not going overboard to the point that your focus is just on the creative and artistic value of what you're doing. This is about creating an entity that can attract and retain and service clients for a long time. The pretty stuff that will really make it beautiful, the extra brands and taking it to a whole different level and adding all these other elements, you can do that, but make sure that that doesn't distract you from attracting clients. You've got to figure out how to sell a product. You've got to figure out how to get attention for the product. And I've seen many brands go out of business because they're obsessed about the pretty stuff, but not about the nuts and bolts stuff. And the nuts and bolts are, how do I get sales today? How do I get another client today? How do I service my existing clients today? That's where your focus has to be as an independent brand. Now, number 5 is really important, and that is being clear about what makes you different. So the idea behind an independent brand is that you're independent, and that gives you the latitude, the ability to do some things that others may not do. That might mean menu selection. That might mean delivery. That might mean color combinations. It might mean hours of operation. It might mean follow-up at a certain time. It might mean private gatherings. It could mean any number of things that make you different. And believe me, there are some things that will make you different that could be the key thing for your client. It could be that they can come in for a fitting in the evening. It can mean that they love coming to your place because you work out of a little shop that you've set up in a building on your property that's unique and is very comfortable and feels great. It could mean that you serve them breakfast, or you have a particular international flavor to your designs, or an ethnic quality to your designs, or certain things that are unique and can't be found elsewhere. They can order things in advance and you can get it for them. So think about how you can make yourself different. So I wish you the best in the process. You'll find some of my resources at the link in my bio. Now take a look at this video.